Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, January 9th, 2025. We're here for a work session, and as we start our meetings out, will we please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? And Councilman Rothwell, would you mind leading us in the pledge?
Well, certainly, Supervisor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
Okay, for today's work session, we are starting out, we're going to go into executive session first. We have 3 items to discuss on executive session, and because of timing of the people that are responding for these executive session matters, we had to do it this way. We're going to go in for a contractual matter surrounding a possible lease of town-owned property. That will be with Howard and Thomas. We have a legal matter surrounding litigation between the town of Riverhead and Elite Towers. That will be with Howard. And we have personnel matters surrounding potential change in status of an employee, and that's with Chief Frost. We plan on coming back to open session at approximately 11 o'clock. We're hoping we can take care of these 3 matters in the next hour in executive session, and then we will be here approximately at 11 o'clock, and we'll sign back on. So at this point in time, I would like to have a motion to close open session and go into executive session.
I make that motion?
Second.
Close?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, open session is closed. We will now retire to executive session, and again, we should be back at approximately 11 o'clock this morning. Thank you very much. Welcome back, everybody. We are live again with the open session of our work session agenda. We're going to start out with the Recreation Department, North Fork Environmental Council, Anti-Litter Committee, and bid matters surrounding the installation of a trash receptacle, Little Critter 2. Joanne, you want to lead us off? And
Sure. So if you guys can come up.
come on up.
I'm going to join you up here with my very precious laptop here. Okay. As a way of introduction, my name's Lisa Gavalas. I'm with the North Fork Environmental Council. I think you might know everybody else around the room. I'll do it as we go through here. We've been working together as a group to try to get a second installation of a litter critter in Riverhead. The first one's been very successful, so let me just take you first to where. Okay? Of course it's.
They're
Just
great when they
saying,
work.
2 buttons you allowed me, and I pressed the one you told me. Okay. All right, so the second litter critter that we've been working on has actually been a relatively simple process because we had the anti-litter committee et al. Working on the first litter critter, which of course paved the way for the rest of us to get the second one done.
Can you just address what the first one was for the people that are unaware?
Absolutely. I'm going to show you a picture in a minute. I'm a little afraid to flip back and forth, so I'm going to get to the picture second.
Don't mind me.
No, I just a little nervous about the little switching back and forth here now, based on my first attempt. The first one was championed by the Riverhead Anti-Litter Committee, and thank you, Joanne, for being here representing the Litter Committee. It was funded by National Grid. It was launched in the spring. It is alive and well and in Iron Pier Beach. It was designed by Clayton. And we believe about 2,000 bottles and cans have been collected so far, or were collected probably up until the fall. I don't have a new number for that. And this is it. For those of you who haven't seen it, it is sitting right next to the beach, and I was part of a beach cleanup in September, and the beach was relatively clean, and the litter critter was relatively full, exactly what we were hoping for. So given that experience, we thought there might be opportunities for other places for a litter critter, which made us come up with a strategy for a second litter critter. So every litter critter has to address 5 issues: funding, location, design, who's going to collect, and how are we going to market it. So with an incredible partnership between Joanne, thank you for guiding us through this process, funded by the North Fork Environmental Council, supported by the Anti-Litter Committee with all the experience and expertise of getting through the first one. Obviously, the bid has helped us with the location and also going to help us going forward. And unfortunately, Ashley, who was representing Parks and Rec, isn't here today, but Parks and Rec has been an integral part of how we're moving forward. So, you want to talk about a little bit about the location, Christy?
Sure. So, just taking into consideration the landscape of downtown Riverhead and the changes that are on the horizon, we were looking for a location that, where we could put this permanently, it wouldn't have to be moved, when we're going through town square design and whatnot. So, over by the community garden, just north of the community garden at the intersection of Main Street and Griffin Avenue, there's a grassy area, as you can see on the map. So the bee's going to be placed there. We thought that it would be a great location with the playground right next door, and with the community garden, the activity that's going there, and River and Roots organization has been amping up their programming. And they actually, on the south side of the River and Roots community garden there, along the Granville Park line, the fence has a pollinator garden that was installed by Cornell last season. So the idea of the bee construction is kind of tied into all of their programming. And the playground, is set to have some advancements coming in the next year or so. We have a grant from Suffolk County where we're putting down new substrate and some sensory pieces in there. And the bid is also planning to muralize the comfort station there as well, the brick walls on that. And we'll be doing a call for artists beginning next month, and that project is funded by the New York State DRI grant. And we'd like to incorporate bee and programming and nature aspects into that mural as well. So we'll be calling on Community Garden, the Anti-Litter Committee, Cornell, and everyone to work together as a group to make these things happen. And tying that into our marketing as well, we're looking to do the installation in the spring, and then hopefully the mural and the opening ceremony for the anti-litter piece early May. Right?
And as Christy said, the design question was so obvious once we had a location, because there's a pollinator garden there. There's already, children's trivia about bees, and it's a great opportunity with a sort of 2D barcode or QR barcode that will be on this litter critter to talk about the importance of pollinators and talk about the importance of bees, and of course recycling and plastic and the things that the litter critter specifically takes care of, but it also incorporates all the other things that is going on in that neighborhood. So given that it's a bee, we asked Clayton to draw up some ideas, and
I think that was the original.
Yeah, he actually has
I don't
some
know
even newer.
If you want to be able to.
Here, if you can put it
right
If you
here.
put it
Oh,
right
okay.
here in the middle, we'll have
you
the
go.
camera
Okay,
zoom
good.
on it.
This
Oh,
one's
look
like
at
I don't know, a little bit
Segment.
profile. The idea is, well, I'll give you a brief description.
Put them sideways,
Justin?
maybe?
Can
Can you
you
get the
put the
camera?
camera on, please?
So the wings will be 3 to 4 inches thickness. It will be armature, either stainless steel or aluminum. There'll be a mesh on the top and the bottom, and I want to fill the wings with water bottles after the labels have been removed. So it'll be kind of translucent. It'll be like diaphanous, like a real bee's wing. The black stripes will have to come up with black soft drink cans or some kind of something, refreshments or whatever. Those will be crushed, and then I'll fasten them together to create the stripes for the black areas. The yellow area you see there will be a mesh, which I'll paint, with some sort of outdoor paint that will be yellow, so it looks like, black and yellow configuration. The way to fill it will be in between the wings, I think, right up in the top there. So you can walk up to it and throw the cans and bottles in. And then to empty it, I'll make it in such a way that it can easily be pivoted, and then opening a hatch in the at the tail where the stinger would be, pick that up, clip on a bag, and they can just float right out. So that's the idea for that.
Okay. Any thoughts, comments on bees?
Love it.
A nice bee, a happy bee.
I just want to give credit where credit's due. This, when I was liaison to the litter committee, Christie is the one that brought this whole concept up, and if I recall, it was from Bally, and you're on the litter committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deb Wetzel,
Yeah.
I didn't want
So-
to interrupt you, is in charge of it, and I'm just here representing.
Yeah, and I'm just so glad, because it worked really well there, and it's working really well here. So, thank you.
What about the cost?
Funded.
This says donating to where? How does it just
NFEC is funding it.
Okay, wonderful.
Very good.
I love the design.
Phenomenal job on the first one, so thank you, and thank you for stepping up to do it again. So excellent.
Well, it's going to be a little bit more involved, but I think it's important. The fact that it's going to be by a playground, as well as murals and the pollinator garden and all that. I think it'll bring more awareness to kids in particular, and they're going to bug their parents. Dad, mom, put the thing in the bee.
Do we put like signage up or something, like encouraging people to do it? Because the only thing was like when you first put the one up in
Right.
James,
They
where
didn't
I
know.
appear, it was like, it's a beautiful
it is-
artwork, and like, am I supposed to be putting my littering into the artwork? But so how do we encourage people that it's okay?
I think we need to pre-litter fill.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's what, really,
That's what-
in the beginning, when it was empty, you're like, nah, what do I
exactly
do?
right.
Like a
But you
sign
put
up that
15
says-
bottles
Like
in
bottle
it,
and cans.
It'll be obvious, yeah.
When we
Something that says feed.
dumped it
you
for
know,
the
feed me
first
your
time,
cans
we
or
didn't
something.
fully
Yeah.
dump it so that it kept some of the recyclables
right.
in,
Yeah.
in the container.
That's right,
so
we never
people
empty it
knew.
completely.
Yeah.
Because
It's a visual.
it becomes then truly only art, and while we appreciate it as art, we also
Well,
want it to be
we-
functional.
Yeah,
To Ken's point, there it is, there's the sign, oh,
Right.
I can put my bottles in cans here.
Right.
So,
Can I just say one thing? I love the design, and I think everything is great. I'm just a little worried about the pollinator, the soda cans near the playground. Kids are always afraid of bees, and some kids are allergic to bee stings, and I'm just wondering, is maybe a
Can you
better
give me back?
location?
Can you give me back control of the?
I'm just a little nervous
I want to show you.
about
I
that.
want to
The
go back to
sugar
this
and-
picture
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
second.
Brings an attraction.
Justin, can we go back to,
The picture of the location
Yeah.
of the overhead location
Right.
of the receptacle in the park.
Thank you. Okay, so the pollinator garden is at the other end of that grassy part. And you can see it, right? So the pollinator garden is at one end, and the playground is across that path. So they're not really on top of each other, they're all proximate, but I don't think that they're gonna be sitting with like juicy
Juicy
soda
boxes
can right next to the kids who are playing. So it is all in the same neighborhood, but I don't think it's the bees aren't going from one of those spots to another where the kids are actually
I
playing.
mean, go and look in that property and see how far. I
Right.
don't think it was very far.
Yeah, the pollinator garden is along the south fence, and the bee sculpture will be placed on the north side.
So it's
and
gonna be-
there's already a garbage receptacle there, so
Yes.
regardless of whether it's going into the
Right.
bee or the garbage container, it's still there. But that's a good
And
point.
it's important to have the garbage pail next to this so people know to differentiate.
Right, so we
Right.
don't wind
And
up
they're
with
not
garbage
lazy
in there.
and like throw,
Right,
you
throw
know,
everything.
paper cup or whatever.
I was very excited about this location because I felt like it expands downtown Riverhead and
Right.
starts to really incorporate West Main Street.
Gets it going west.
It's a nice flow.
Yeah. And it ties in with all the work that the BIT's doing in that area
Yeah.
and making it even more beautiful. We're very excited about that location. One of the things that we have to deal with is how to get it collected. Parks and Rec picks up at the beach. They already pick up at the beach, so that was an easy solution for the first litter critter, but they do not pick up in downtown. So we spent some time talking about how we might get that executed, and they are willing to coordinate volunteer collectors, and they say they get constant requests for community service hours, and this is a perfect community service idea. If you are, Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, or you're trying to get some hours for high school, you also have like the added little bonus of you might make a couple bucks by, sending the nickel cans back to wherever you
And
send
it was
your
in the
nickel cans
Riverhead
back to.
brochure. Ashley
Yep.
spent a lot of time pre-announcing, like, we need help, if anybody's interested, this could be a project, ahead of time, just to see if people,
Right. You
would
get
want
some
good
information.
response.
This is
Yeah.
an ad that's already in the current Parks and Rec brochure, calling for, people who are interested in adopting a park. I mean, there's a number of different items, but she's very confident that there are plenty of people who are interested in getting some service hours, and that this is an easy one that they would be happy to do. As a bonus, we get some climate smart community points for that, which is always nice when we're trying to get grants. We get some points, and gives us a better chance of winning those points. So that's our sort of bonus. And then lastly, once it's up and running, we think there's a couple of good things that will happen. There'll be a QR barcode on there that will send people to a town page, right?
DowntownRiverhead.org page, yeah.
That will talk about the importance of pollinators. It'll talk about the importance of making sure that you recycle. And, I think education is clearly a part of this. It's sitting next to, where there are going to be kids. So we hope to make it bigger than this one piece of art. In addition, the first one got media exposure. We certainly expect the second one to also. The bid has some tentacles. We have tentacles, so we expect to make sure that we get the media out talking about it, and support it so that it gets good use. I would say the only reason, the only caveat I would add is if it doesn't get used there, then we might want to talk to you about moving it to someplace where it does. We expect it to get used there, but we also don't want to waste it if in fact it's, if whatever, all the thinking around the table was wrong, which I don't think it will be, but, Clayton's made it in a way that he can move it
That can
if
be moved.
required.
It'll fit in the back of my truck, if we have to move it, even like we spoke about for a special event or something like that, I'd be willing to,
We
bring it
want it-
somewhere else.
We
for
want
that
it to
day
be
if we
here,
need to.
but if it doesn't work, then we're not going to throw in the towel and say it's not going to
Well,
work
it's gonna
anywhere.
work somewhere.
Right.
Well, there's also a possibility that it'll work, but you may not find a lot of bottles in it or cans because they may be removed by people in the area.
I'm okay with that.
That's fine.
We agree, 100%.
Right.
And we did
So if
discuss
you go
this.
and it's
Recycle,
empty and it's empty and it's empty, like, oh, this isn't working,
Right.
we just monitor it because
That's a
maybe it
good
is
point.
working,
Make
but,
sure.
there's a lot of people that
collect.
rely on
Use
income
those-
from picking up cans of bottles, so.
And they
Our
can always empty
objective-
the one at Iron Pier through the
Correct.
parks too.
Right.
So
Correct.
either one, if they don't have anything in one, they can go to the
I
other.
mean, between the litter committee's objectives and the Norfolk
always
Environmental
litter.
Council objectives, of course, it's really just to keep this off the
Correct.
street,
Right.
keep it
That's
out
doing
of
it.
the incinerator,
Regardless of
right?
who's taking it out,
Right.
it's serving its purpose.
And the best way for children to learn is hands-on, and, this is definitely a positive thing for them. And media-wise, the first fish at Iron Pier, actually, the mayor up in a town in Connecticut heard about our fish and had a teacher call me and ask for more information because they wanted to implement something like what we did
great.
with the fish.
So you go
I
national
was
then,
gonna say,
right?
did they hire you, Clayton? Did they hire you?
Great
You
job,
have to
Joanne,
be-
really, taking it to a new level.
Yeah, no,
Trace.
it was a team effort.
Yeah, no.
We've worked very well
Honestly,
together. It's been
It was
it's been great.
relatively simple because you guys had already done all the hard work
I
the
have
first
to-
time around.
Officially from the litter committee, speaking from Deb Wetzel, who's the chairperson, we've gotten a lot accomplished in a year. just from working with the town board, having a certain person we speak to, and then finding out what we have to get done. It's even assigning streets and having the help of the highway department has been extremely helpful on the 2 events we have during the year. We gave them a map, we gave them locations, we've tried to make it safe for kids to volunteer. You know, we give them the parks, we give them, you know, areas where they don't have to be on a street or by a street. And for the 2 events that I've been involved with and Joanne's been involved with, we've had, you know,
It's
people
been a great
coming.
success.
So,
Well, you've also given us information of locations of properties that are littered. And we've contacted our code enforcement, and they've contacted the owners of those buildings with a threat of either you're gonna receive a ticket or you're gonna clean it up, and they've cleaned up some of those properties. So that's a positive also that comes out of the litter committee, which we really appreciate.
And thanks
Work
to
from
Councilman
everybody.
Kern, he's raised the fees for violations for, you know, the shopping carts have been a big issue. It's
You
a
see me
collective
wheel one
effort
back.
between everybody, and it's so great when we can come together as we have as a whole, including the rest of the town board, because we discuss, you know,
We all care
what's
about
going
our
on within the
community.
committees, and
We,
it's great.
you know, we want to work together. We've had a lot of new groups volunteering versus last year. We keep a little record. And people are interested in making their community nice. And the last part is we're recognizing whether it's a business owner, a worker, an individual person that has come. Deb has compiled the first group that we did a few months ago in November. So like we're recognizing people, like thank you for doing that, and you know, so that's another whole part of it too.
You have a whole country to clean up, so you better expand your committee.
One town
Don't
at
tell
a
that to
time.
Joanne.
So we are here asking for approval as soon as possible for a spring 2025 launch. So we just
That's our projection.
I vote yes.
I don't know that we need a resolution,
I don't think so.
no? I think we just, you've got our, certainly you have all of
All
our.
for it.
Just maybe have to accept a donation? Can we do that?
Yes,
Just a
that we will
resolution to
need
accept a
from
donation
whoever's
from the
gonna pay
artist.
for it, we would need to do a resolution of
Okay,
accepting the donation.
okay.
Yeah, that's a,
Well, can we just say that it's the donation of the receptacle?
Yeah, I thought, I have no idea.
Yeah,
This is over my pay grade, but whatever
Anytime
you
the
tell me
town
to do.
accepts something
donation, yeah.
free, we have to do a resolution accepting it.
it's also just
Okay.
acknowledging and
Right.
it's a gratitude, so.
Okay.
But it means you go ahead
We'll
and get
figure
started
I
out-
just have
now.
to
and
figure
we'll
out
figure
how
out
to
the
move the money from here
particulars,
to you
yeah.
to them, or whatever.
Well, no, it goes,
Yes.
no, it goes from
Just the
you
beat.
to
It's just
the
a
artist.
resolution, okay.
You're accepting the beat.
I see.
Right.
You just have
From-
to say, would you be able to accept the donation from the North? That's what you have to do.
From the Norfolk Environmental
Okay.
You don't have
Council
to do anything, you
Fleet.
just do it, say
Right.
thank you. It's just a resolution of thanks,
Yeah. we just-
Yay,
okay?
okay,
have to do
then,
We'll make it easy
You
for
can
you,
start
don't worry.
today.
thank you.
You can
Okay.
start in
Well.
11:58.
Not this weather.
What are you waiting for?
All right, we gotta
Buzz on out of here.
go. Thank you very much,
Thank you
thank you
all
for
so
your
much.
time.
Thank you.
Excellent work.
We'll be
Great
back
job.
when it's time to celebrate.
Love to
Really,
see.
it's a big concept.
And I'm so sorry again for the wait. Thank you
no
for
worries,
being
no worries
so
at all.
patient.
I hadn't spoken, but
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you all.
I would love to.
Okay. All right, we're going to skip over our normal schedule here, and we're going to go to code enforcement, implementation of new online rental permit application portal with Senior Investigator Rich Downs. And I think, Bob, you probably want to jump on this.
Yeah, what? Oh,
Okay.
yeah, if you turn the mic on, sure. Okay.
You might just have to tell Jace, now you got me calling him Jace. Justin.
Yeah, I mean, I'll,
Justin, can we have this mic put on? Can this mic be put on? Yeah, he's going to put it on, Rich.
if you want me to introduce it, absolutely.
Yeah, go right ahead, Bob.
Okay. So, about a year ago, we looked to bring a lot of departments online, and we're really making a really good effort with the support of the board. The first thing that we looked at is, right now, is code to do online rental permits. So just so people understand, people would handwrite them, give them to code, code would then put them into a computer. Now, by people doing it into the computer themselves, it saves us a lot of time, and we have an electronic file. So, go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, and it's going to streamline things for us, and it's going to help out the applicants that are submitting rental applications. So we're very excited about that, and I hope that everybody's excited to move forward with this. Yeah, I don't want to date myself, but we're moving from the Fred Flintstone age into the Jetsons here, so we're excited.
Yeah, and you've done a great job, Rich. I know you spent a lot of time with OpenGov.
Yep.
And, you know, and you're ironing out any kinks that may be there, which I think is fantastic.
Yep, and with the help of IT, they've also been instrumental here in getting this program up and running, and we are excited that we're live right now. So
Yeah.
we're going to run through it from an applicant standpoint, just to show you how the system works and how an applicant can apply. So, Chip, you ready? So an applicant can simply just navigate to the Town of Riverhead's homepage and click on Divisions and Departments, and then click on Code Enforcement. And that will take the user to the homepage embedded in the town's website, which is our Code Enforcement webpage, where a user can access the instructions on how to navigate through the OpenGov rental application portal. Chip, would you be able to switch the screen over to this one so I can see it? Thanks. Perfect.
Want to go to the application or the instructions?
Yep, once here, you click to apply for a rental permit. Okay, can you scroll down? Once here, an applicant can read the mission statement and any new requirements, as you can see outlined in red, regarding driveways and the new requirements for surveys. After that, an applicant can proceed to apply online by selecting the blue Select button at the bottom of the page entitled Residential Rental Registration Process. Once selected, the portal navigates the user to this page entitled Residential Registration Process, where a user can obtain information regarding the town's rental properties and links to the Town of Riverhead's rental code, as well as the New York State Property Maintenance Code. From here, a user would select the blue button on the right, Apply Online. The user will then be directed to the Permitting and Licensing menu, where a user can either log in with their existing credentials. If you have existing credentials or an account with OpenGov, you don't need to create another one. You can simply just log on with your existing credentials. Some landlords or rental property owners already have credentials, so they would use their login for whatever township they have that in. But if you do not, you would use the sign up for OpenGov. For the sign up, a user only need a valid email address and create a password specific to their email. When you do that, just please write down your password.
I do that, but then I forget where I wrote it down. So.
I have a password manager that I use. All right, once that is completed, the portal will take you to a page to input your contact information. You will enter all your contact information accurately and hit next. So I'll let Chip enter some test contact information there for the demo. Okay, once you enter all your contact information, you will hit next. Okay, you're then taken to the search for an address or parcel. Okay, where you will put in a parcel. The parcel would be your rental property address. It's a pre-populated, so whichever when you start typing, those fields will come up automatically. As you see, he selected 4 West 2nd Street. Okay. You will then hit next. You will take a look at all this information to make sure it's correct. And on the bottom, you'll see the that data is pulled directly out of the assessor's office. So you just make sure that everything matches up to what you choose for your property, and then hit next. All right, this is the exemption page whereby any one of these items, if any one of these items are applicable, an applicant would not be required to obtain a rental permit. If one of these were applicable, this system would not allow you to proceed to filing an application. So these are in our town code. These are just exemptions. So if one would to be select that, it would not let you proceed. So we hit next, okay. So this is the property information page. An applicant would select the registration type, whether it be a new application or a renewal. You would also select the type of dwelling that you have. For the purposes of this demo, we will select the single family. There's multiple different types of dwelling units here that you can select. Each type of unit has a definition alongside, so somebody can understand exactly what type of building they have.
Rich, does this cover accessory dwelling units as well?
Accessory apartments? No, that would be an application through the building department to receive. Yeah, yeah. It would just be a single-family residence. That would be the choice. Okay, the next page is the property owner information page, where a user would input the deed. Oh, did we get by that? Did we skip by that? Oh, no, we're in the tenants?
We're doing tenant.
I'm sorry. There's the tenant information, so you would input your tenants, names, phone numbers, applicable email addresses. And hit next. All right, so this is our deed information. The user would input the owner information as described on their deed. The next field on this page is a question drop down as to whether the property is owned by a corporation or not. If we select yes, additional fields are populated for the applicant to input.
Whoops.
As you see, the additional fields popped up.
Skip that one, right?
The user would then input the required information into these fields. You doing the corporation, Chip?
No.
You said no, it wasn't a corporation.
He said no, okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the asterisks are indicating that they're required fields, so you can't leave one blank and move on to the next without
It'll complain.
putting it in.
Just show that. Let's see. Something, mailing address same.
The next are just declaration, accepting the Electronic Signatures Records Act in lieu of receiving traditional notaries as required on our prior applications, which are the paper applications. So an applicant just has to put their name in these fields. And then hit next.
Should I ask me for the address now? Yep, let's do it. Required fields, Bob.
So they're fail-safes for the fields. They have to be filled out. Here is an applicant can choose to add a guest or an authorized or managing agent to their application in cases where they choose to give another person access to their rental record and receive correspondences, or even just be able to interact on their behalf. They can, you can select the checkbox for the demo to show that. It will open up another set of fields. But for the purposes of this demo, we don't need to select that. It's just more input. So we'll hit next. This is I'll bring you to the rental property maintenance standard screens where an applicant will read and acknowledge that they shall adhere or be in compliance with the applicable town codes and state codes as described and provided for by the links in the beginning. There is also a link here to the New York State Property Maintenance Code for their reference. Once read, the user will select the checkbox and provide a digital signature and hit next. You did that already. You're way past me there.
Yeah, hey.
So this is the inspection type where an applicant will choose what type of inspection they want performed. There are two choices here. One choice would be to have our town code officers do the inspection. The other choice would be a certified architect or engineer or a home inspector of their choosing to do the inspection. For the purposes of this, we'll select one of our guys to do it. This is an update of information screen letting the applicant know that they have an obligation to provide true and accurate information during their rental period and notify the code department if there are any changes to their rental property. All right, this brings us to the attachment screen. So an applicant can upload all their attachments here on this screen simply by using the upload buttons to the right. We still will traditionally take in, if an individual, an applicant does not have a scanner at home or cannot upload documents through this portal, we will take still documents by mail, or they can drop them off at the office and we could simply just attach them to their records. So Chip will, yeah, he'll upload one, we'll upload the ID just to show you how it works.
Rich, you could also just take a picture of it and upload as a JPEG?
No, we're not accepting the JPEG images here through this platform because in some cases they just don't, they turn out blurry. We just, and it's kind of a back and forth with the applicant, so
Okay.
we're only accepting scanned images. If an applicant figure out how to take a photo and convert it to a PDF I mean, that, there's capabilities there too, we'll accept that.
Just quickly, does OpenGov, for example, when I want to deposit a check with my bank, I go there, it says deposit, and it automatically reads my camera and takes a picture. Does OpenGov have that ability?
No, we're going through the payment screen after
okay,
this. Yeah, so we'll show you how the payment methods
Well, I was
work.
more concerned about their ID, but go ahead.
Okay.
Want to describe these documents? We're not-
Yeah, these are all going to be self-explanatory. All these documents would be required for a new rental application. And if you had selected a renewal, it's only going to bring up those documents that would be required for a renewal. There's various documents that are required for rental properties, surveys, COs, floor plans, things of that nature. Okay, this is your confirmation page. This is going to show you all the information or the data that you entered. You can, as an applicant, scroll down, review all this information. You can also make any edits or changes to any of the information that you had put into the system at this point. If you made a mistake or a zip code or typed something wrong, you could make that change right here. Also, you can make any changes to any attachments that you uploaded. Okay, then when everything looks good, we confirm and submit.
Get
I-
the Councilman Kern's credit card, we can
Right.
enter it over.
Yeah, hang on.
Okay, so at this point, you're at the payment page. At the top, it says your application has been submitted. At this point, we have received your application. It went over to us electronically. This is just the payment page. So if we scroll down a little bit, we can see the fee. The fee is calculated by the system. That's based off of the data that you inputted when you applied. From there, we select the applicable payment method, whichever payment method you want to choose. You can pay by credit card, you can pay using a bank account, an e-check, or you can pay by cash, check, or personal check. If an applicant is paying by those with a cash or a personal check, above, we describe that you have to come down to Town Hall and give us your payment method, and/or you can mail the check in.
Is there like
So
an
it's-
application number or something on there, or how will you match up the check to the, what they?
It does, I think in the language about, I can't really read it from here, but it says to, yeah, there's an application number right up top there to bring in that to Town Hall. We could also look it up by your address. So if we select, for the demo purposes, you want to select credit card. Brings up this menu. An applicant would simply put their email in. Put their name, address, zip code, city.
It's basic. So it's a credit card form.
That's great.
I promise you, this goes by pretty quickly when you're an
Yeah,
applicant.
when you're doing it,
Yeah,
it's
but
probably.
when
takes
we're
about
explaining it,
10
it's taking you some time, yeah.
That's fantastic.
This one will choose all the major banks.
So this is the Plaid link. It links Plaid. You can link it right up to your bank account. If you have a mobile number, you input the mobile number.
That,
And there's various banks.
okay,
That's great.
so we're gonna skip all that.
Can I just say, I gave a lot, give a lot of credit to Rich, but Chip, you've been instrumental, and your knowledge beyond your normal job was incredibly useful and helpful with this, dealing with everybody you had to deal with.
Thank you. The knowledge beyond your IT job.
Chip the IT guy.
Well,
So-
he knows a lot more than, just the scope of what he does,
So at this point, the process is pretty much finished. I mean, once you if you make the payment online, you're paid. We see that on our end. There's a lot of bells and whistles on our end, which I won't get into, but there's a lot of interaction that we have directly, electronically, through us and the applicant. They can receive permits directly, real time, when a permit is issued. They can receive correspondences. We can make notes. If they're missing documents, we can communicate with them immediately and directly through email. So there's a lot of little bells and whistles on our end.
Hopefully it's kind of mistake-proof, though, because you can't submit until you've filled out everything. Right? So I'd be curious to see
Yeah.
what slips through that we could correct, moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Rick.
Yep.
Great.
Any questions? Anything?
Thank you both.
Thank you, Rich.
All right.
Should have made a video of this that we could have put on YouTube or on
John?
the website.
That when you did it same
Better
time,
not
plug
have.
your computer and sat there and
I bet
signed
that
on
Justin
it.
would be
That's what I'm asking. I just.
Next up, we have the CDA, matters surrounding the 2024 recap and 2025 outlook with Dawn Thomas.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, right
Thank
there.
So good morning, or afternoon now, everyone. So as a part of what we do in CDA, we annually review what we did year prior and then set goals and objectives for the upcoming year. So we know what we're doing and what direction we're going in. So when we did this calculation, actually this is the old one. This one should go
The grants for 2024.
two versions of this, yeah.
Do we have another version of this document?
You want to go to the video, the Riverhead-in-Action video, and then we'll go back to this?
Sure.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay.
I have the correct version.
We're going to go on hold with this for a minute to get the proper paperwork. And in the meantime, we're going to show you the latest Riverhead-in-Action video. So as soon as our IT crew can put that up on the screen. This was something that Councilwoman Merrifield and I went out on and up to the Peconic.
Hi, this is
ice
Tim
hockey
Hubbard,
rink.
supervisor of the great Hi, this is Tim Hubbard, supervisor of the great town of Riverhead, and you're watching Riverhead in Action, a media campaign designed to highlight the incredible work of the 350 plus employees that comprise Riverhead's 26 departments and sub-departments, town events, projects, job openings, local businesses, and other town happenings. I hope you find this informative and enjoyable, and thank you for watching Riverhead in Action. So Denise, we are here today at the Peconic Hockey Ice Rink in the town of Riverhead.
Yes.
This is our first Riverhead resident free skate day, and it's a 2-hour session today, I believe. And then there's another one Sunday night.
Yes, Sunday night from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Free admission for the kids in the town, and also it's free ice skate rentals as well. So, and both sessions are sold out.
That's great.
70 kids today are coming.
Yep.
And same thing on Sunday night. All Riverhead residents,
Right.
all free.
And it's not just kids out there.
Yes, yes.
I see some adults out there, very brave adults, I
Yes,
might say.
yes.
But we got here a little earlier, and the hockey session was letting out. It was a hockey clinic. and this place was mobbed. And then the new wave of the people coming in for the free skater here. This is amazing.
I think it's great.
Incredible. The size of the rink, you know, you watch hockey on TV all the time, and it's like, okay, they're skating up and down, but when you look at the actual size of an NHL rink, and you see those guys going back and forth, it's no wonder they change their lines out all the time, because it's a workout.
Definitely.
It's a workout.
No, it's a great facility, and they do special light events. In the evening, they have the light show go on, they have the music come on. So you could, you know, this is great for date night. Not just little
absolutely.
kids. It's a great thing to do in the wintertime.
Yep.
You know, it's nice to get outside.
There's not a time I've driven past here that the parking lot's not filled up out there. It's well used. We have our naysayers in the town, but we understand that. But this is a tremendous amenity for the town to have, to be able to provide for its residents. And, you know, plus you get to learn to skate. I mean, winters are kind of iffy around here. You know, as a kid, I remember ice skating on all the ponds and down on my uncle's duck farm. You could do that because it was colder then, it seems. Now it's not always that cold, and you don't have those places to skate. Plus, I fell in enough times through the ponds and stuff that I'm much happier on an ice rink where I know the water's, you know, not over my head if I crack the ice.
I learned to skate on Lake Ontonkoma. We went down there. It was great, but you're right. Nowadays, it doesn't get that cold.
It's too iffy.
Right, this is a very safe place. And, you know, we have all the amenities here. It's nice and warm inside.
It is.
You don't have to worry about the wind, ice, rain, all of that. So it's nice.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great place for kids to hang out, especially during the holidays.
Sure.
When they're off from school, nothing to do. That's great.
And for the younger ones, or people, adults too, just learning, they have the section down there where you can use the little holders there to learn to skate.
That's very, you know, high end. When I was a kid, it was little plastic milk crates.
When I was a kid, it was the double run blades too. They were wide, so you didn't tip over as easy.
Right.
But now they don't even rent those out here. It's all single edge blades, and
I think they even do. Don't they even do figure skating here as well?
Figure skating lessons.
Lessons on that, not just hockey and figure skating.
I'm watching this one young lady out here dressed in black. I have a feeling she might be one of the
I'm sure.
one of the figure skaters.
And I heard mention of curling. They're going to do something.
Some curling. The recreation department's going to set up a curling program. That's about the only time I would feel safe on ice anymore at my age.
Right, you wear shoes.
Right.
I'll join you. I'll come out there. If they have curling, we'll do it.
There you go. But this is a great amenity. We thank Peconic Hockey for all that they've done. There's a long time coming. There's a lot of I's to dot and T's to cross to get here. And they're not done yet. They want to expand in the future, and they want to add a concession stand and a big full-size locker room for the teams. And that's going to happen. It just takes time, and you know, you got to raise money, and it takes time. But they've done a fantastic job. And again, for Riverhead to have an amenity like this, to me, it's such a home run. And look at all our residents out here for free today.
And I was saying also, like in terms of tournaments that they do, you know, that's, people will come out, if they're having tournaments, stay in hotels, go to the restaurants in town.
Go to the restaurants,
So in an area, a time when the town may be a little quiet and not as many tourists, this is a great way to also attract tourism.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they've seen an uptick in that. They said already when they're running the tournaments out here, that the people are, they're weekend tournaments. So rather than traveling back and forth from wherever they're coming.
We've got the hotels.
Right, the hotels are here, and everybody's reaping benefit from this. So
that's great.
It's a very good thing.
That was great.
That was good. That was really nice. Folks, if you haven't been up there, you got to go up there. It's a beautiful facility. I can't really say enough about it. People love it. It's getting well used, and we thank Peconic Hockey again. And Councilman Rothwell, too, who was very instrumental in helping this to make its way to where we're at. Thank you. And, you know, Troy Albert and the other members up there, Riverhead Building Supply, done a fantastic job, and you know, we're very proud to have it. So, thank you.
So sorry about that. I had a math error
Next
in my.
report, you're on the ice, though.
Yes, with those studded shoes that,
Excellent job.
Math error in my original version, and I wanted to make sure you had the right one. So when we did the analysis this year, obviously there was a really significant number. I thought it was worth sharing. As you can see, we have so far 2024, 33,254,000 in grants, mostly attributable to RAISE, which was 24 million.
That's worth saying again, so everybody hears
Yeah.
that.
33,254,000.
That's fantastic.
So, and we continue to process and administer those grants. There's a lot of work that goes into that, even getting to contract. And one of the things I know we've spoken about is that when you receive a grant award, it's for a specific project, and then that specific project is contracted with the granting agency. We lay out the money, generally speaking, and get reimbursed. And so the grant money that comes to us can't be used for just anything. It needs to be used for a specific thing that it was awarded for based on those applications and those contracts. And so, all of this money that you see here is allocated to these specific projects. There are a substantial number of water grants that we were able to acquire last year. Suffolk County Downtown Revitalization, we received $97,000 for the splash pad in the town square, which is probably the lion's share of the cost of that project. Restore Round 8 is for the Town Square Hotel. That will go to the developer. That application comes through us. Obviously, RAISE is for the parking garage and Main Street improvements. CDBG we have every year for our downtown low to moderate income area projects. Some of it goes to home improvement, our home improvement program, where we take seniors and low income seniors and repair their mostly mobile homes. We have another program called Home that we can use on a real single-family dwelling for low-income seniors as well. There's a waiting list for those programs. The water grants are the WIIA and federal CDS grants that you see here. Meeting House Creek is the cap-off of a project that's multiple layers of grants we're partnering with Stony Brook University on for the restoration of wetlands at Meeting House Creek, at the headway of Meeting House Creek, which will filter stormwater and improve water quality. And then EECGB is a riverfront lighting project, so those total the 33 million. And then we have a lot of ongoing projects, as you'll see, what we're working on, prior grants and things that are still underway, whether those will be, work that we're getting to a contract, working on the actual project, or working on the reimbursement. Those would be the stages of the work that we do. We are, thanks to your gracious addition to our budget, we'll be adding a staff member this year to our team, which is great because, as you can see, we've greatly increased the amount of work that we have because each of these grants is the same kind of process. Even if it's a small grant, it's a time-consuming and not tedious, I shouldn't say that because I don't want to say that. It's a detail-oriented project where we need to provide documentation of every expenditure. It has to be in a certain format, whether we've complied with the MWBE requirements of the grant or any of the prevailing wage things, and those all have to be documented and sent, and then we get the check reimbursing. And then we have funding goals for next year, so we have a bunch of different things that we're looking at depending on what comes our way and what's going on. We have the projects at the town square, obviously. We're always looking for funding for those. We will be looking for private donors for the playground and the amphitheater. Vale Levitt, we're working with the Jazz Loft to see how that goes, and I know there's another entity that's also interested. We have continued water grants, which we'll be working with the Water District on. The ADU +1 program, which we just approved this last meeting, and we'll be working with the Long Island Housing Partnership to implement. We want to, once our new staff person joins, implement the first-time home buyer program, which will be down payment assistance for anyone who gets it from the county for a town of Riverhead homes, and our new staff person will be administering that program. We'll be using the money that comes from the Suffolk County Workforce Housing Fund, so we'll have a very limited amount of money because that's deposited based on subdivision work that comes through. So we'll have maybe 10 that we'll be able to award in '25. Hopefully that will help people. Safe Streets for All, the federal government's looking for us to work on any street project, so it could be through USDOT. It's a planning grant we could use it for West Main, or we could use it for Sound Avenue. I've spoken to Southold about partnering on that opportunity. Maybe we could do something, traffic calming things without significant,
Impact to the.
no tree removal,
historical, yeah.
Small things that can be done to improve traffic flow on Sound Avenue. Pro Housing is a grant opportunity that we now have access to because we were participated in the governor's Pro Housing program that gives us access to funding for placemaking infrastructure, which is all of the things that we actually need. Yesterday or the day before, I had a phone call with Stony Brook University College of Business. They are looking to partner with us and the Real Estate Institute potentially to make an application for a strategic business plan for the balance of the EPCAL property. So we're going to look at that. We had a really nice call on that. Biosolids, we're going to take another shot at the biosolids funding opportunity this year. Police Department, we're working closely with Chief Frost and Captain Wilsey and with Chip, the IT team, on things that they might need for the town, including cameras, some new cameras and things. FEMA flood mitigation, there may be an opportunity that comes up this year through the state of New York. It's federal money through FEMA where we could look to work on that bulkhead boardwalk project. And then records management, we've all spoken about this. The building department is doing great. Moving forward, we want to get, and going backward, we want to get all of the materials scanned in and accessible electronically. The New York State Archives offers a grant of $75,000. I think that's a potential application we could make for funding to hire
That's great.
a scanner group. And, we are coordinating with all of the departments, making sure that they know we know what they're looking for, what they need, and what we can help them with. Polish Town, we're looking maybe a strategic planning grant for revitalization of Polish Town. And then, obviously, we're looking for funding. I would like to be able to buy that laundromat.
Yeah. Also, I
Expand
know
Grangeville.
you have it on your future, endeavors for the Vale Levitt, but we did get, is the $250,000 grant in your total right here at all? No.
So that was the year prior. So we,
I think that we just did that.
actually, that's their grant, not our grant. So the Vale Levitt applied for that funding.
Okay. But still, it's going to be applied to the overall, so I know we discussed things in executive session, but I think we are putting together a really good future for the Vale Levitt.
Yes,
So,
there's no
hopefully
question.
something will come out soon where we can.
There'll be
show
some
public
funding
support.
from multiple entities, including the County of Suffolk, probably some others, to get the renovation completed there in the historic way that it should be completed and, get it up and running for whomever it is that the board selects to run it in the future. So, yeah.
I think we're making great headway, though, the public should know.
Yes.
Something good on the rise for the Vale
Yes, I
Levitt.
think so, also, yeah. So we just wanted to share this publicly. I know other departments are doing, it's one of our management tools that we use to keep us focused, because there's a lot going on.
So Dawn, I would say this,
No, I was just going to say, we look forward to getting $34 million next year to try to outdo yourself.
We'll be
We appreciate
looking
that.
forward to that too. And I know there are some good things coming up very shortly, which you'll hear about, but we continue to work and apply, and by the grace of God, we are being successful at this. And the town, certainly deserves the attention and funding because it is an amazing place.
I'll just say this, a lot of this is state money, which is fantastic. So the taxpayers in Riverhead who have been paying state taxes,
Yes.
the beautiful thing about this is you've managed to get a lot of that money back and invested into this town. I
Yes.
think it's real important to note.
Yes, I think that's true. We're putting our tax dollars that we send away back into our community for sure, yes.
And Congressman Lalote has been extremely helpful, too, with all the water grants and everything else from the federal level.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yes,
No doubt.
New York State Empire State Development is incredibly supportive of us and been, really great about making sure that we're, aligning ourselves with the opportunities that are coming our way. We constantly in communication with them. The County of Suffolk has been unbelievable in helping us get things done. And so we have great municipal partners. we hope to soon have some great private partners and getting some things done too, so.
Well, without you and your team getting all of this funding, none of our plans for the future of Riverhead could happen.
Well,
So
we get
thank you-
support.
You and your team so
We
very
get
much.
support from you all, and we're grateful for everything you do to make it, us able to get the work done and, do great things for our town, because it certainly is well-deserved.
It shows everybody's level of confidence in what the town of Riverhead is doing.
Correct.
Yep.
Because they go through these grants and they get grants from all over the place. And to come out on top and win some of these numbers that you've won for us is incredible. And it honestly, it means that they believe we are going to do this. We know
Yes.
we're going
Yes,
to do
yes,
this.
yes.
But you have to convince the money people that it's going to work out, and you've done that.
Yes.
And we're there.
And-
And sometime, at some point in this year, you're going to see changes down there by the town square.
100%.
And it'll all start coming to fruition. So for this, I mean, we can't thank the CDA enough for what you guys have done
Our-
and the money you've brought in, because it's a lot of work, it's a lot of writing, it's a lot of presentations, and you're all over the place making these presentations. But you do a great job, otherwise we would not be sitting here looking at these numbers.
I couldn't do a
So,
thing without Joe, Frank, and Carissa. Those guys are unbelievable. They're on a seminar right now, otherwise they'd be down here. They make it all happen. They keep things organized. They're very, very meticulous about everything that needs to be done, which helps us. That organization that they provide and the work that they do, they write grants, they administer grants, they do contract work, they do everything. That work allows us to be able to apply for more. That order that's been set up and the organization that they've created has really allowed it to happen. So I'm grateful to work with all of them. We're grateful to work with all of you. It's been great. The board's, forward motion and forward thinking is one of the really important things behind all of this, because you guys are taking bold steps to do bold things, and that's the kind of thing that gets attention, and we're definitely getting it.
Well, good. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you guys. This is phenomenal, and I've been so excited, it's like a little kid at Christmas waiting for this, and this is gonna be the year, so.
It is going to be a big year for us,
We will-
and, I can't promise you another 33 million next year,
Yeah.
because 25 million was a
That's
big one.
tough to beat.
But it is tough to beat, but
But
that's,
you're not saying no.
I'm not saying no, you never know.
By far the most in the history of the town.
We'll
of Riverhead.
always keep working, and we're excited to do the work, so it's just a labor of love for us. So thank you very much.
Good.
And,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, in a moment, I have two quick announcements. Number one is just to remind everybody that today is a National Day of Mourning with the death of former President Jimmy Carter. So flags should be at half-staff and keep President Carter and his family in your memories. 100 years old, it's pretty incredible. The work he did for Habitat for Humanity, and the work he did after he got out of the presidency is almost as big as what he did when he was in the White House. So he was a great man and one of our presidents, and we owe him respect. So the other thing is today is National Law Enforcement Day, and we always speak very highly of our own police department, and rightfully so. But with National Law Enforcement Day, we recognize our Sheriff's Department that services the town of Riverhead, our New York State Police, our State Park Police, our University Police that come out here on occasion. So keep all of our law enforcement members in your thoughts and prayers, and we wish them nothing but the best in 2025. Okay, we have one matter left for executive session, so in a moment I'm going to close the open session and we're going to go into executive session, and I want to correct what I read earlier. The correct legal matter we're going in to discuss are matters surrounding litigation between Romano J. et al. Versus Elite Towers et al., and that will be done with Counselor Howard. So at this time, I would ask for us to close the open session. Could I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we are closed. We're going to finish up in our executive session. Everybody have a great and wonderful weekend, and maybe a chance for a little bit of snow over the weekend. It's early to tell, but the forecasters are saying be prepared just in case. So everybody stay healthy, and thank you. We'll see you again next week.
Take care.